From my book on morning moments, this is a morning moment. 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 19 says this, "He, that is Elijah, departed and found Elisha plowing with 12 yoke of oxen." Elijah had become too important for his own britches, to basically say it. He was in a cave sulking before God and said, "Everybody hates me, nobody loves me, the whole nation's fallen down before idols, they're all worshiping in the groves, and I only am the only one left still serving you." And he did this twice, and God got so upset with him, finally said, "Okay, Elijah, it's over. You keep telling me you're the only one that's serving me." He said, "That is not true." He said, "There are 7,000 out there that you don't even know about that haven't bowed their knee, and I could choose any of them. There are 50 sons of the prophets. I could choose them." But God chose Elisha, and when Elijah found him, he was plowing. Can you imagine what Elijah probably thought? Who could possibly replace me? Have you seen the size of my mailing list? Have you seen how many CDs I sell? How many books have I been printing? Man, who could ever take over this gigantic ministry? And God said, "Watch, I'm going to have a farmer replace you." God is in the business of taking nobodies and making somebodies out of them. And if you don't believe that as a Christian, go stare in the mirror. God still takes nobodies and makes somebodies out of them. He took a man that was a somebody called Moses and sent him to the backside of the wilderness for 40 years till he could sweat the somebody out of him and turn him into nobody so that he could then turn him into a somebody for the Lord. The same was true in the New Testament with Saul of Tarsus, a somebody that got put into a cave in Arabia for 14 years, finding out the power of God, finding out the New Testament revelations, to where finally God sweat Saul out of Saul, to where then he could finally become usable for God and became Paul the Apostle. The same thing is true with you, and it never changes. And so God always looks for nobodies to make somebodies out of him. Somebody that's not sufficient in themselves, doesn't depend on themselves, and finally says, "Lord, like Moses, I can't even talk anymore." And God said, "Fine, you are now in a usable position." So I want you to understand something. You may think you don't have all the credentials, qualifications of somebody else. All God's looking for is faithfulness. The Bible says, above all things is required of a steward that he be found faithful. Just be faithful serving God and be willing at any moment, like Elisha, to drop the reins of those oxen, walk off, even go back and take one of them and kill them and slay them and burn them. Burn your bridges behind you, but by that time, totally trust in God, and God will become your all in all. All I can tell you is the future will be great for you. Just follow after God and be humble.
There is no better way to start your day than a few moments spent with Jesus. Morning Moments is a compilation of teachings by Pastor Bob Yandian that will inspire and impart God's truth to your heart in just a few moments each day. To order Morning Moments, go to bobyandian.com or call 918-250-2207.